February 15, 2024, Kylian Mbappe announced his decision to leave Paris Saint-Germain upon the expiry of his contract this summer, as the most prolonged and highly publicized transfer saga finally began its conclusion, marking a big step in the sought-after forward's journey towards joining Real Madrid, a club that has persistently pursued him for a long time. You feel like it's a moment of déjà vu, right? You are not wrong. Mbappe had an opportunity to join Madrid before joining PSG in 2017. The chance arose again in 2021 when PSG's rejected several offers, and once more in 2022 when both Mbappe and Madrid seemed convinced of an imminent free transfer, only for Mbappe to give in to PSG's pressure for a contract renewal. Even as recently as last June, Mbappe's decision not to extend his contract further, thereby signaling his availability as a free agent in 2024, sparked hope for Madrid. Yet, once again, Mbappe opted to remain in Paris, prolonging the saga. It wasn't until February 3rd when reports emerged confirming his impending departure, with Madrid emerging as the probable destination, that the speculation finally seemed to come to an end. Negotiations between Madrid and Mbappe are underway, with the club expressing optimism about reaching a favorable agreement in the near future. As these discussions unfold, I've decided to analyze the player's decision-making journey over the past few months to analyze why he has decided this is the right time for the move. At first thought, the decision might appear straightforward. Mbappe, a native of Paris, has spent 7 seasons in PSG. In France, Ligue 1, he has won multiple championships. He has fought to bring the first Champions League title to Paris, coming closest in 2020 when they narrowly lost to Bayern Munich in the final. Along this journey, he has broken numerous individual records, most notably surpassing legends such as Pedro Miguel Pauleta, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Edison Cavani to become the club's all-time leading scorer. Now, at the age of 25, he is set to begin a new chapter with Real Madrid, widely regarded as the best football club, a pursuit that has continued since his tender age of 11, and all this as a free agent. Easy pidsy, right? Not for Mbappe nor his family. Paris holds a special place in Mbappe's heart. PSG is more than just a club to him. It's where he arrived in 2017 and underwent significant development, shaping him into the player he is today. The relationship between the Mbappe family and the club's management hasn't always been smooth sailing, to say the least. There have been incidents of tension, such as when Mbappe was excluded from the first-team squad and isolated to train alone for a duration of 2 weeks. Additionally, he missed out on the preseason tour last summer, following his decision not to trigger the option for a 3rd season in his contract. The disagreement escalated to the point where the French Players' Union felt compelled to advocate on Mbappe's behalf. Tension also frequently emerged between Mbappe and Leonardo, the former sporting director at PSG. This strained relationship persisted as PSG continued to underperform in European competitions, despite the considerable resources at Leonardo's disposal. In a revealing 2023 interview, Leonardo placed blame on Mbappe, suggesting that winning the Champions League was possible even without the star player, a sentiment expressed just a year after his departure from the club. Mbappe's relationship with club president Nasser Al-Khelaifi also experienced its fair share of friction, particularly revolving around the forward's contract negotiations. In June 2023, Mbappe communicated to the club his decision not to extend his contract further, prompting PSG to publicly declare their willingness to entertain offers for him. During the introduction of new manager Luis Enrique in July of the same year, Al-Khelaifi was adamant on PSG's stance regarding their star player, stating, "I don't want to repeat it every time. If Kylian wants to stay, we want him to stay, but he needs to sign a new contract. We don't want to lose the best player in the world for free. We can't do that. This is a French club." He said he would never leave for free. "If he changes his mind today, it's not my fault. We don't want to lose the best player in the world for free. That's very clear." These instances serve as examples of a relationship that hasn't always been without its bumps. Yet despite the challenges, Mbappe finds contentment at the Parc des Princes. Moreover, there's added significance as his younger brother Ethan, age 17, recently made his professional debut and is set to join the first-team squad next season, with a new deal expected to be finalized soon. Life for the Mbappe family in Paris is good. With their extended family nearby, Kylian has the joy of witnessing his niece and nephew as they grow. Additionally, he finds comfort in having 2 of his closest friends in football, Achraf Hakimi and Ousmane Dembele, alongside him in in the PSG first team. During their meeting last month, when Mbappe personally informed Al-Khalifi of his decision to leave the club, the French star requested that the president abstain from making the situation more challenging by attempting to persuade him to stay. 2 years prior, Al-Khalifi had successfully persuaded Mbappe to remain at PSG by presenting him with an enticing proposition. This included granting Mbappe decision-making authority within the club, enabling him to replace Leonardo, whom he disliked, with his friend Luis Campos as sporting director. Mbappe also gained involvement in transfer discussions and recruitment processes, as well as securing the role of the club's penalty taker ahead of Neymar. Essentially, this positioned the French forward at the center of the club's operations, giving him significant influence over its operations. This was also accompanied by the biggest contract ever witnessed in European football. This time around, there would be no similar negotiation or emotional involvement. The French superstar was determined to keep sentiments at bay, understanding that they could complicate the decision-making process. As reported, he emphasized that there would be no turning back this time. He had reached a definitive conclusion, viewing it as the correct decision at the opportune moment, and there would be no reconsideration. Ultimately, history was destined to guide Mbappe to Madrid. From his earliest memories, he had a desire to don the iconic white shirt and grace the pitch at the Bernabeu, and Mbappe believed the timing was now ideal. But it feels a kind of déjà vu. The circumstances were not ideal 2 years ago when, as a free agent with PSG, he had an agreement with Los Blancos. Nor were they perfect 3 years ago when the Spanish giants tabled €160 million offer to PSG, despite Mbappe having just a year left on his contract at the time, only to be rejected by the Parisians. Or even back in 2017, at that time, his club AS Monaco secretly negotiated a $150 million transfer fee with Madrid behind Mbappe's back, only for the forward to reject the move to the Spanish capital. Similarly, the road wasn't smooth when he was just 11 years old and initially with the under-12 team, only to opt to stay with AS Bondi instead. Now, though, the timing is perfect. Ligue 1, arguably, limits Kylian's immense talent, and PSG's boundaries have been evident in European competition over the years. Mbappe aspires to win the Champions League trophy multiple times, yet during his tenure at the club, PSG has only progressed beyond the round of 16 thrice in Europe's Premier Club competition, despite boasting the talents of players like Neymar and Lionel Messi. In terms of individual accolades, Mbappe is also determined to win the Ballon d'Or. His closest attempt came in 2023, when he finished third behind Lionel Messi and Erling Haaland. In Madrid, he sees more opportunities to achieve this goal, with talented teammates like Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham sharing the pitch with him, as well as the guidance of manager Carlo Ancelotti from the touchline. As negotiations progress between his mother, Faiza, who is also his agent, his legal team, and the two clubs involved, PSG on one side, finalizing the terms of his departure and the potential bonuses he may give up, estimated between 80 to 100 million euros, and Real Madrid on the other, ironing out the details of his new contract. Mbappe is reportedly growing increasingly eager about the impending move. He fondly recalls his Spanish language lessons from school, later honing his skills through interactions with Spaniards and South Americans in various teams. Now, he eagerly anticipates the opportunity to utilize Spanish in a very specific context during his unveiling at the Bernabeu, a day that feels ever closer on the horizon.